Just textbook, guys. Just I could see them on the right hand side. Nice little pods. So just before I caught that fish, this is what my side imaging looked like, and you can clearly see the fish on the right. Well, let's see what I can find here. Got a couple hours after work. So as I'm running here, I'm just keep adjusting my lower range so I just barely have the bottom in view. And as I start getting a little bit deeper here, I'll start marking some fish. So right here I drop the first 2 waypoints, and then I'll do 2 more, and then turn to the right and then come up and troll through them. So you guys have seen this before. That obviously looks like something, and notice in the background there's a lot of noise and stuff, and later the contrast setting is going to make that go away and make those returns look even sharper. So after I dropped those 2 waypoints, I just kept going east just to see if I'd get any more marks or if they would dry up, and that's when I'll turn around. So as you can see here, I'm running a little bit further. I start seeing some more marks, so I drop 2 more waypoints. There's one there, and then once they dry up, I make a turn to the south, see if I see any there. If not, I'll make a turn back towards the west and see if I see any, and if not, then it's a 1 more turn to the right and start trolling through them. I'm going to do a circle here to see if I can get an idea of the size of these marks. Not too many boats around me, so I can maneuver a little bit. Well, not getting much here. Let's see if I just caught the end of them. So you guys can see there's obviously a lack of marks. So I know that's not productive water, but I got a good half mile here to get set up, and I'm hoping to have those 3 rods in the water before I reach those first waypoints. I'll give them a little rip this way. Mark some decent. So I'm just about set up here and getting close to those waypoints, and now you can see those marks I was marking, what they look like at trolling speed. Those are nice arches, and they even show up on down imaging. So there's the 1, 2, 3, 4 waypoints I marked coming out. Didn't mark anything, so I'm hoping they're still in front of me. Definitely some shadows starting to show up. Fish on. Right on the waypoints, guys. What are the odds of that? It's a little too heavy to be a walleye. Who knows what we're marking, but it's fall time, so it could be. He's on top, might be a walleye. Well, that was the quickest time to marina to fish I've ever had. That is how you quickly find some eyes. So you can see right when I crossed those waypoints on that first trolling pass, I caught a fish on the left side, and look at the side imaging. That's what I was marking on the way out. And you know, when you slow down and get a bigger, broader look at it with side imaging, you can see, you know, the fish clearly stand out. You don't know if they're walleye or what, but you know it's something there. So I hadn't messed with my side imaging settings since Erie, so here I am. I switched over to it. Now obviously I'm fishing over soft bottom like muck, and it's absorbing the signal. So that's why the edges are kind of dark and weak. So I know I'm going to have to turn my sensitivity up a little bit, but if I'm already maxed out on sensitivity, then you're going to have to back off on the contrast because you don't want to wash out your whole screen with sensitivity. So here I back off on the contrast and the edges came in, and now I'm just adjusting the sensitivity just so I could see those fish and their shadows.
Still fish here. Man, I can't get him on down imaging or sonar, but side imaging is showing them.
Alright. I think. Right.
Stay buttoned up.
Halfway. Get bit. Fish on the outside, right side. Just like you said. I said they were on that right side and outside deep. I think this one's 80 back unassisted. So after catching a few fish at that other spot, I felt like I kind of, had it figured out, and it was just a matter of time before, I picked up another fish. So I thought, well, let me get back up on plane and start running northeast a little deeper and see if I can find the next pod. So after about 2 miles, I think, I started marking fish again. So I whipped around, came back, and trolled up through those waypoints. And once again, I hooked up with a fish, right away after I saw waypoints, just like I did on the other run. Just textbook, guys. I could see them on the right hand side, nice little pods. So just before I caught that fish, this is what my side imaging looked like, and you can clearly see the fish on the right. But I also want you to notice that I didn't see anything on my 2D. Like this, if you look at the top part of the screen and just the sonar, it doesn't look that good. Like if I didn't have my side imaging, I wouldn't really want to fish here. But it just shows you how much more the side imaging shows you about a spot. The 2D sonar cone is so small that, like I said before, it's like looking down in the water with a straw. So you can't really judge a spot just by what you see on 2D. A lot of times guys say they catch fish that they weren't marking. Well, that's why.